As today's game flow presented by Progressive and Phillies own Bobby Reed putting that together. 20-3, Eagles in front of the Giants, trying to beat them for an 11th consecutive time here in Philadelphia. And we welcome him back inside. Hope you're having a great Christmas. I know he is after the bread pudding that he just crushed and no calories on Christmas. So you're fine. You're fine. You don't have to worry about it. We came into the game saying the Giants, to have a chance, had to get off to a better start. Given what happened last year in all these games, this was like an instant replay of all those games last year. Yeah, better, but not to the level that they needed it to be better. But Philadelphia has allowed them to stay in this game. I think that has to be one of the things. If I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm a little concerned. Very lucky at the end of that half that the clock doesn't run out. They don't get the field goal attempt, and it's 17-3. And really, the Giants just completely miss Hassan Reddick on a 4th and 1, or it could be 17-10 going into halftime. So I still think there's some things going on with this team that they're not playing at the level that they were earlier this year or anywhere close to last year. Those special teams, it was the issue early on. Britton Covey had a 54-yard punt return on this line drive kick from Gillen, set up a touchdown. He'd have another bad punt right after that Covey attacked and set up another score. Who would have thought it was going to be the special teams play? Britton Covey, this is such a great play right here. Just very aggressive in fielding that punt, getting great field position. A couple of snaps later, there goes Devontae Smith. Great throw by Jalen Hurts in stride. Hurts in that first half, 157 yards and his first touchdown in 3 games. Trying to get back to that MVP level. MVP runner-up last year, was in the MVP conversation during the 10-1 start. Just hadn't quite looked the same, and really the Eagles have it across the board in a 3-game losing streak. Tommy DeVito, meanwhile, is 9 for 16. This is now back-to-back games where the Giants have struggled to get it going offensively. Short kick. And a return here from Boston Scott. Runs into Olamide Zaccheaus, and the Giants have the ball. Isaiah Simmons recovers. Wow, what a disaster to open the half for Philadelphia as Scott runs right into Zaccheaus and fumbles. I don't know what to say. I mean, we talked about Tommy DeVito having his offensive lineman running back at him, and here's Boston Scott with Olamide Zaccheaus making a big hit and causing a fumble. Giants looking for a Christmas miracle. Getting a little help right there. But what are you going to do with this? Right? There's no reason for you to have the football right now at the 14-yard line. You had one slip away from you back at the end of the first half, and they were allowed to get 3 points there. And how about this? Tyrod Taylor is in the game at quarterback. Taylor, who took over when Daniel Jones was hurt, but then he got injured himself. He injured his rib. Tommy DeVito played so well while he was out that even when he was ready to go, even when he was off IR, DeVito maintained the starting spot. But here is Taylor handing off to Saquon Barkley. And Barkley takes the ball to the 10. Down to Pam Oliver.
Well, as the Giants try to figure this thing out, something I observed from the sideline, there weren't a whole lot of guys hanging their heads. They were pulling for each other, trying to figure things out. Of course, the main thing Brian Daboll is upset with is the kicking game. He said simply just not good enough. His message for the team, do your job.
And clearly not happy with the play of the quarterback. Looking for a spark here. Barkley again. 3rd and about 3 as they go to Tyrod Taylor. There were some calls for Tyrod Taylor to be back in there after DeVito struggled the way he did last week against New Orleans. But right after that game, Daboll gave the vote of confidence. He said, no, you don't bench a guy because of one bad game. But a game and a half with the offense not doing anything, Taylor gets another shot. You got to be real careful in these situations, right? When you go back and forth between your quarterbacks in a season like the Giants have had at that position, it becomes very complicated. 13-year veteran Tyrod Taylor. Barkley again has a touchdown, and the Giants with a perfect start to this second half. They get a takeaway on the opening kick of the half and quickly get it in the end zone. We've seen a couple of run-throughs earlier in the game, and watch Shaquille Leonard right here. He just picks the wrong spot. Don't know why you'd be going there, because you had Fletcher Cox lined up in front of you, right? You know if the double team is going to go, if that duo block is coming onto Fletcher Cox, you should be on the inside there. So they lost the gap containment on that one. First touchdown for the Giants in a couple games. Extra point for Mason Crosby is there. Couple self-inflicted mistakes for the Eagles at the end of the first half, settling for the field goal attempt. And then this turnover would be an issue that he's not being able to kick the ball very deep here in his first game, but winds up playing into their hands with that turnover. Fair catch taken that time by Gainwell. And here's two teams getting together a little bit after the play. On Wednesday, we've got a great college bowl game on tap. 15th ranked Louisville trying to cap off a stellar season, taking on USC. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl, Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern on Fox. First touchdown for the Giants in 7 quarters, and it's Tyrod Taylor came in and got him in the end zone. Well, Tyrod Taylor and the offense took over inside the 20-yard line, but they do get in the end zone back in this game. And now defense that keyed the winning streak by getting takeaway after takeaway. Can they generate their first of the day? From the 25-yard line. A fake and a throw, and Dallas Goedert is tackled by Adoree Jackson. And we go back down for the other side with Pam Oliver.
Joe, Nick Sirianni told me at the half, he pointed out that Philly has had leads. They have lost this season. He says we have got to keep going. On defense, he said, got to keep the pressure up, keep that run game in check, make the Giants one-dimensional on offense. New QB, assume it's the same plan.
Swift. Stopped by Dane Belton. Yeah, Pam, we were talking in the first half of this game, but so much of last season was about getting those big leads and then just leaning on the running game, blowing teams out anytime they've gotten a lead, which hasn't been as often, at least not a big lead. The game's typically closed back up. 3rd and short, Swift makes a man miss, but then he's swallowed up in the backfield. Azeez Ojulari gets the tackle after a bunch of penetration, and the defense delivers its blow.
Bobby Okereke, number 58, making up for that delay of game penalty there at the end of the first half. He's the one that gets through and makes DeAndre Swift flatten out.
And there we can hear the boo birds. I mean, this is going to be a tense, sensitive environment here, given the 3-game losing streak, with the Eagles trying to answer a lot of questions that have sprung up. Ugly start to the second half. Olszewski, good punt here from Mann. Olszewski, level, try the 25. The ball comes out as Rick Lovato, the long snapper, delivered that hit. Olszewski's able to get the ball back. Oh, his moment to shine. Not more than just a long snapper. In this half, 4 runs for Barkley. And here's the thing, Darryl, with the Eagles letting the Giants back into the game, we talk about how much the game changed with the early holes the last few years. Back to within 10, the Giants can do whatever they want. They don't have to play a game that the Eagles have dictated.
That's been the biggest problem in games past. When they're playing their best football, Philadelphia forces you to do something different. Not what you came in scripted as a game plan. You move away from that because the game is getting away from you.
First pass play they've called with Tyrod Taylor in there. He's going to run. There's a flag down that'll wipe this first down gain away, but then another flag as he was going into his slide, and now some pushing and shoving. Sidney Brown's getting right in there with the veteran Justin Pugh. It was Brown who delivered the hit as Taylor was going into his slide. So we're going to have a flag on both teams here. We'll leave it up to Ronald Torbert to sort out the details.
I think it's right there on Ben Bredenson right there. It's Fletcher Cox is starting to pull away. You've got to let go. And then here it is at the end of the play. Forearm right to the helmet by Sidney Brown.
2 fouls during the play, 1 by each team. Holding. Offense number 68. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 21. Those penalties offset. Repeat second down.
So forcible contact right to the head. Pretty easy call for the officials there. Then we'll replay this 2nd down and 9. Well, Pam, this is news to all of us at halftime, seeing Tyrod Taylor take over for Tommy DeVito. What have you found out?
Well, I had a lovely conversation with Brian Dable. He kept it from me, but it turns out it's just a coach's decision. Guess he's not satisfied with DeVito's performance. DeVito still continues to throw and warm up on the sideline, but he's out.
Kept it a secret for another 60 seconds. Here's Barkley trying to find room. He's stopped by Keely Ringo. It's a 3rd down and 6 for the Giants as they lean on Saquon Barkley early on in the second half. Now, quietly, he's over 60 yards today after the very quiet game against New Orleans last week. Saquon, one of the guys that's been here the longest, sick and tired of losing to the Eagles. He's beaten them just one time in his 6 years in the league. 3rd and 6. A little different look here. Lines up over the guard. Five to snap it. They're bringing the noise. Eagles bringing the heat. Taylor dances around, needs the 30, and he's going to get it. Tyrod Taylor runs for a 1st down on 3rd and 6, getting away from Shaq Leonard at the end for a gain of 15.
And this is one of the things that you have to have in your quarterback right now with the offensive line of the Giants struggling the way they are, whether it was Tommy DeVito during the win streak or now Tyrod Taylor, the escapability. Because we've seen too many times the amount of sacks that they've given up, the amount of pressures that they've given up. When there's an opportunity to advance the ball on a scramble, you've got to pull that ball down and get positive yards.
From the 39, 1st down, screen to Barkley. It has no chance. Hit in the backfield by Milton Williams, and he loses a couple yards.
Really nice job by Ben Summer, and watch him right here. He's the one that's going to force everybody back inside. If you can get him pinned inside, you've got a chance. He sees Saquon come out, gets upfield. Look at the leverage he plays at. Forces him back into the middle of the field.
Undrafted rookie out of Michigan State. Started his career as a fullback at Michigan. Transfers to the rival. Changes positions. And getting his first shot in the NFL today. Taylor zips it. It is caught by Darius Slayton. Just threaded it through there. They spot him. It looks like a little bit shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, if he would have realized that he was not touched, he could have rolled forward and maybe gotten that phrase already. They're going to give him the 1st down anyways.
Ooh, that's great concentration there, isn't it? Because it looked like Bradley Roby got his hands on it.
Right through. If not, if he didn't make contact with it, it went right between them.
And they have said that it's enough for a 1st down at the 49. A pin drop in this place at this point. It is Barkley straight ahead. Van Sumer in the tackle. You know, when you look at the 3-game losing streak for the Eagles, you can understand the first couple. Now, you shouldn't get blown out no matter who you're playing, like they did against the Cowboys and the 49ers. Where the alarms really started to go off were when they lose to a team that had dropped 4 in a row in Seattle, was playing a backup quarterback, and those alarms have not stopped as they failed to put the Giants away in this game. Barkley had a steam for a couple, and it's 3rd down.
And the longer you allow the Giants to stay in the game, the more confidence you give them, the more opportunity for a mistake on your part to really kind of flip the entire game. So I agree with you, Joe. In that Seattle game, there were opportunities for them to separate. We talked about the Jason Kelce penalty. It went to 10-0 instead of 14-0. That's a whole different game. You give up a 90-yard drive for the first time to the Seattle Seahawks when the game is on the line. A 92-yard touchdown drive at the end of that game. They hadn't gone 90 yards on a scoring drive all season.
On 3rd and 4, pressure coming. Barkley's open. It's underthrown, and it's incomplete. Taylor was under siege, but if he had gotten it to Barkley, he had 1st down and then some.
He's got some room to run, but again, it's that pressure. Fletcher Cox is just, gosh, he's ageless. It's amazing how well he's been playing this season, and he really kind of forces that underthrow right there to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, his 12th season, still climbing the sacks list in Philly history. 4th and 4. And they're saying movement on the offensive line, but I think Carter's the guilty party. And that's going to make this a 1st down, the latest key penalty on Philadelphia.
Jalen Carter's had 2. I mean, he was the one who was going off the field.
Ball start. Offense number 61. 5 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
We've actually called it on the center, John Michael Schmitz.
Wow.
Forget everything we said about Jalen Carter.
Well, he got lucky because that would have been 2 critical penalties. I thought he might have moved on the Andrew Thomas point. Let's see if this is a sudden movement by the center. It can't be an abrupt, sudden movement, and that's what they called right there. But I'm thinking that the one that might have been was on the outside.
Abrupt is a foul, a false start. Smooth and deliberate would be on the defense. Obviously, they felt it was quick and abrupt, put the penalty on the center. That's close. I like it as smooth and deliberate. I think that should have been on the defense, but obviously the officials felt otherwise.
All right, Dean, appreciate the explanation on that. Comes at a key time, and he is still fuming as Brian Dable. Eagles take over with a 10-point lead. They've run just 3 plays in the second half. Fumbled the opening kickoff of the half, and then a 3-and-out. This offense trying to find itself. More turnovers than touchdowns during the losing streak. Drive begins. Hurts finds Brown. Just his 2nd catch of the day. Deontay Banks brings him down. Gain of 5.
That was one of the things we talked to Wink Martindale about. It was A.J. Brown and kind of the talk in Philadelphia of him becoming unhappy at times and wanting the ball directed his way more. And he's like, yeah, I would too. He goes, he's a handful. He's like a Deebo Samuel. I mean, the sides and the run after catch. He goes, I would get him the football as often as I could.
They said he plays wide receiver like a linebacker. And he looks like one too. 6'1", 230. 5th-year man out of Ole Miss. 2nd down. Pressure coming. Hurts steps into it. And throws incomplete. Pursued by Kayvon Thibodeau. He was the 5th overall pick last year, and the Giants think that he's getting better and better every Sunday, or in this case, Monday.
That's a really good play by Kayvon Thibodeau right there, because sometimes he just gets lost during the course of the game. He's got 6 games so far this season without a sack, and he's only got 7 total tackles. He's too talented to have a stat sheet like that during the course of the year. That was a really good play because the blitzers came through. Great patience by Jalen Hurts to let them come. He's about ready to get a big scramble until 5 comes from the inside out to force that.
Giants trying to force another 3-and-out. It's 3rd down and 6. Out of the backfield, Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell lowers the shoulder and right at the sticks, gets stood up by Okereke. It'll depend on where they spot him. I mean, it is right on that yellow line, and they've given him enough. A 1st down for Gainwell.
Looking right down that 1st down line. I'll tell you, that's impressive by Bobby Okereke. Kenneth Gainwell is a tough runner. And that's about as good as you can do and not let any more forward progress.
Using him a bunch today. That's the 3rd catch for Gainwell. He's carried it a few times as well on a day where DeAndre Swift's been relatively quiet. Swift comes back in. He's got it. The scene for 5. Boy, didn't it look like DeAndre Swift was going to be one of the breakout stars in the NFL this year with what he did those couple games early? Over 300 yards in a 2-game span, weeks 2 and 3. Hasn't cracked 80 in a game since.
It's amazing to me because I thought he was one of the more dynamic guys last season as well. I really felt that the run game opened up this Philadelphia offense.
Back-to-back carries for Swift. Explodes to the edge, and a good tackle right there by Jason Pinnock to keep him shy of the 1st down.
And coming from the inside out, Jason Pinnock just really good at tracking it. This is a good tackling team. We've seen it on the last couple of snaps here. The one by Bobby Okereke, and then fighting through Lane Johnson. That's a big man.
Here we go. 3rd and short. It is Hurts with an easy 1st down. And you can see the Giants get packed in. They're just so determined to be the team that finally comes up with a way to stop it. No luck.
No, that was really well done by Jalen Hurts because now you're getting everybody kind of centered right over top of Jason Kelce, and that's just a little slide to the left. And there was a big void right there that he could kind of use without all his guys helping him out.
Play action. Safety blitz coming. Hurts gets rid of it. And it is Calcaterra. First 2 catches of the season have come today for the second-year man from SMU.
Azeez Ojulari, he's going to be one of the guys that you worry about rush coverage, right? He can do both. He's dropping back in coverage there. Maybe he wants to widen out a little bit more, but you can see Devontae Smith right there, number 6, kind of taking that throwing lane away from Jalen Hurts.
So the Eagles go a little bit hurry up a couple times today. Swift has one. DeAndre Swift has his biggest run of the day. 13 yards.
This is just really blocked well. Just watch everybody. They just build a wall. And watch this. It's hat on hat. I mean, that is the perfect description when you talk about getting a helmet on a helmet. I mean, that was such a great picture of everybody doing that exact thing.
Our offensive line the last couple seasons as good as any in the NFL. Even with the injuries they've dealt with. You had Juergens out for a chunk of the year. Today, Dickerson's out. Still paving the way for a big hole for Swift there. Into Giants territory. Play action. Hurts. A strike for Brown. A.J. Brown. 15 more inside the 35. Adoree Jackson tackled him.
Again, just moving a player based on the action of what's being shown. You're going to get a pull right here, and you're going to affect Bobby Okereke. That's who you're impacting with that pull by 78. You see that big void open up? That's right where A.J. Brown comes into.
So Brown had just 1 catch in the first half, has a couple on this drive. Eagles on the move at the Giants 33. 10th play. Hurts looking downfield. Loads up and fires. Brown again, but it's knocked down by Jackson. Adoree Jackson got there and arrived at the perfect time and drilled it loose. Brown's a little slow to get up. Jackson's not feeling great either.
No, that was a big collision right there. And you're going to float this one down the field a little bit because that's the only option that Jalen Hurts has. Watch, you've got players underneath and over the top. So you see that little window, he's trying to drop that in. So he's got to kind of float it. That gives Adoree Jackson the time to kind of come up and make that big hit.
Shaken up after that big hit from Adoree Jackson. Walks off under his own power in this 20-10 game. And Sunday, January 7th, don't miss a special preview of Grimsburg. John Hamm stars as Detective Marvin Flute, solving crimes in a town that's bloody funny. Check out Grimsburg. Sunday, January 7th, following football on Fox.